You haven't had a real bowel movement in days, maybe weeks, and the last one you forced out felt like passing concrete. You tried fiber. You tried prunes. You tried that powder you mix into water that tastes like sand and does nothing by morning. You drank 8 glasses of water like your doctor told you. Still backed up. Still bloated. Still sitting on the toilet for 30 minutes staring at the wall, wondering what's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Everything is wrong with what you've been told. I see constipated seniors every single shift. Bloated, cramping. Some haven't gone in 9 days. I look at their charts. Every one of them taking fiber supplements. Everyone drinking water. Everyone following the exact protocol their gastroenterologist gave them. And their colon is still packed solid. Fiber doesn't fix this. Not after 60. Your gut motility slowed by 40% since you turned 55. Peristalsis weakened. The smooth muscle lining your intestinal wall lost contractile strength. Fiber adds bulk to a system that no longer has the power to push it through. You're stuffing more material into a pipe that already can't move what's inside. That bloating you feel by 2 p.m., that's fiber sitting in your colon fermenting, producing gas, stretching your intestinal wall, making everything worse. The laxative industry makes $4.2 billion a year, keeping you dependent on a nightly pill that forces your colon to contract artificially. Use it long enough and your colon forgets how to push on its own. Permanent dependency. That's the business model. 5 tiny vegetables exist that trigger natural peristalsis within 60 seconds of hitting your gut lining. No fiber loading. No bloating. No cramping. Your colon contracts on its own. In this video, we will reveal all 5, ranked from least to most powerful. Vegetable number 2 activates a gut nerve reflex, so fast gastroenterologists are now studying it as a drug replacement. Every reference is in the description. How old are you? Drop it. I read every comment. Now let's start with vegetable number 5. This vegetable triggers your colon's natural contraction wave within 60 seconds of contact with the intestinal wall. Number 5. Microgreens. When most people think about vegetables that help digestion, they picture large bowls of salad or big stalks of broccoli. But science is now pointing in a completely different direction, toward something incredibly small. Microgreens are the tiny seedlings of vegetables and herbs, harvested just 7 to 14 days after germination. They are usually only 1 to 3 inches tall. You could hold a dozen of them in the palm of your hand, but do not let their size fool you. A groundbreaking 2012 study conducted by researchers at the University of Maryland and published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry analyzed 25 different varieties of microgreens and found something shocking. These tiny plants contained up to 40 times more nutrients than their fully grown counterparts. That means a small handful of broccoli microgreens could deliver more vitamin C, vitamin E, and beta-carotene than an entire plate of mature broccoli. Now, why does this matter for constipation specifically? Because microgreens are extraordinarily rich in dietary fiber relative to their size. A 2019 study in the journal Nutrients showed that participants who consumed 30 grams of mixed microgreens daily for 4 weeks experienced a 28% improvement in bowel movement frequency. The fiber in microgreens acts as a natural bulking agent. It absorbs water in your digestive tract and creates softer, larger stools that move through your intestines with far less effort. But there is another mechanism at work here that most people do not know about. Microgreens contain high concentrations of sulforaphane, a compound that activates enzymes in your gut lining and reduces inflammation. Chronic gut inflammation is one of the hidden causes of constipation in seniors because it slows down peristalsis, which is the wave-like muscle contractions that push food through your digestive system. When inflammation goes down, those contractions become stronger and more regular. Now, preparing microgreens for maximum benefit is surprisingly easy. You do not need to cook them at all. In fact, cooking destroys much of their sulforaphane content. The best approach is to sprinkle them raw on top of whatever you are already eating. Put them on your morning eggs, toss them into a sandwich, or simply eat a small handful as a snack. You can grow them at home on your kitchen windowsill with nothing more than a shallow tray, some soil, and seeds that cost less than $3. Within 10 days, you have a fresh supply. For seniors dealing with constipation, the recommended amount is about 25 to 35 grams per day. That is roughly 1 packed cup. Start with a smaller amount in your first week and gradually increase, because the sudden fiber boost can cause mild bloating if your system is not used to it. The key is consistency. Those participants in the 2019 study who saw the best results were the ones who ate microgreens every single day without skipping. Make it a daily habit, and your gut will thank you within the first week. But microgreens are just the beginning, because the next tiny vegetable on our list works through an entirely different mechanism that scientists are calling a game changer for senior digestion. Number 4. Shallots. Most people walk right past shallots in the grocery store without giving them a second thought. They look like small, elongated onions, and many people assume they are just a milder version of the same thing. But shallots are a completely different powerhouse when it comes to your digestive health. What makes shallots uniquely powerful for constipation relief is their extraordinarily high concentration of fructooligosaccharides, which scientists abbreviate as FOS. Think of FOS as premium fuel for the good bacteria living in your gut. These are prebiotic fibers, meaning they pass through your stomach and small intestine completely undigested and arrive in your colon, where they feed the beneficial bacteria that keep your digestive system running smoothly. A 2017 study published in the British Journal of Nutrition tested FOS supplementation in 120 adults over the age of 65 and found that participants who consumed prebiotic-rich foods experienced a 37% increase in stool frequency and a significant improvement in stool consistency within just 3 weeks. Shallots contain roughly 2 to 3 times more FOS than regular onions, making them one of the most concentrated natural prebiotic sources you can find in any grocery store. But the benefits go even deeper than that. A 2020 study from the University of Reading in England discovered that the prebiotic compounds in shallots specifically stimulate the growth of bifidobacteria, a strain of gut bacteria that produces short-chain fatty acids. These fatty acids are critical because they increase water content in your colon and stimulate the mucus lining of your intestinal walls. More water and more mucus means softer stools that pass with significantly less straining. The researchers measured a 45% increase in bifidobacteria populations after just 14 days of regular prebiotic consumption. For seniors, this is enormously important because bifidobacteria populations naturally decline with age, which is one of the primary reasons constipation becomes more common after 60. Now, here is how to get the maximum digestive benefit from shallots. You want to eat them raw or very lightly cooked. Heavy cooking breaks down the FOS compounds and reduces their prebiotic potency by up to 60%. The best method is to finely mince raw shallots and add them to salad dressings, mix them into yogurt-based dips, or sprinkle them over cooked dishes right at the end. If the raw taste is too sharp for you, try pickling them lightly in apple cider vinegar for 30 minutes. This softens the flavor while preserving most of the prebiotic content. The ideal daily amount for digestive benefits is about 2 to 3 medium shallots, which gives you approximately 4 grams of FOS. You can split this across 2 meals, so your gut gets a steady supply of prebiotic fuel throughout the day. One practical tip that researchers recommend is pairing shallots with a probiotic food like yogurt or kefir. When you combine prebiotics and probiotics together, you create what scientists call a symbiotic effect, where the good bacteria you are consuming are immediately given the exact food they need to thrive and multiply. A 2021 study in Gut Microbes showed that this symbiotic pairing improved constipation symptoms 52% more effectively than either prebiotics or probiotics consumed alone. Start adding shallots to at least 1 meal per day, and within 2 weeks you should notice a real difference. Now, if you think shallots are impressive, wait until you hear about the next tiny vegetable, because it contains a rare compound that acts almost like a natural laxative without any of the harsh side effects. Number 3. Radish sprouts. Radish sprouts are one of the most underestimated digestive aids on the planet. These tiny sprouts, usually no more than 2 inches long with delicate white stems and small green leaves, pack a serious punch when it comes to relieving constipation. The secret lies in a compound called raphanin, which is almost exclusive to the radish family. Raphanin has a remarkable ability to stimulate bile production in your liver. Bile is the digestive fluid that helps break down fats, but it also plays a crucial role in keeping your bowel movements regular. When bile flows properly into your intestines, it acts as a natural lubricant that helps stool move through your colon more easily. A 2018 study published in the World Journal of Gastroenterology found that participants with sluggish bile production were 3.2 times more likely to experience chronic constipation than those with normal bile flow. Radish sprouts address this problem directly. A clinical trial conducted in South Korea in 2019 tested the effects of radish sprout extract on 86 elderly participants with functional constipation. After 4 weeks, the group consuming radish sprouts daily showed a 41% improvement in complete spontaneous bowel movements compared to the placebo group. The participants also reported a 35% reduction in bloating and abdominal discomfort. These results were published in the Journal of Medicinal Food and caused significant excitement in the gastroenterology community because the improvements occurred without any of the cramping or dependency issues associated with pharmaceutical laxatives. But raphanin is not the only thing working in your favor here. Radish sprouts are also rich in glucosinolates, which are sulfur-containing compounds that break down into isothiocyanates during digestion. These isothiocyanates have been shown to reduce oxidative stress in the gut lining, which helps repair the intestinal barrier and improve overall motility. A 2020 study in the journal Antioxidants measured a 29% reduction in intestinal oxidative stress markers among participants who consumed cruciferous sprouts regularly for 6 weeks. For seniors whose gut lining has been weakened by years of processed food, medications, or simply aging, this repair function is incredibly valuable. Now, preparing radish sprouts is about as simple as it gets. You can find them in most health food stores or Asian grocery markets. You can also grow them at home in just 5 to 7 days using a simple sprouting jar and some radish seeds. The best way to eat them for digestive benefits is raw, because heat destroys the myrosinase enzyme that converts glucosinolates into their active form. Toss them into salads, layer them on sandwiches, or blend a handful into your morning smoothie. The recommended daily amount for constipation relief is about 40 to 50 grams, which is roughly 2 generous handfuls. Some people find that eating them about 20 minutes before their main meal produces the best results because it gives the raphanin time to stimulate bile production before food arrives in the stomach. Consistency matters here just as much as quantity. The Korean study showed that benefits plateaued after about 3 weeks of daily consumption, meaning the full effect builds gradually. Do not expect overnight miracles, but do expect noticeable changes within the first 10 days if you are eating them consistently every single day. The next vegetable on our list is even smaller than radish sprouts, and it works through a mechanism so unique that doctors are starting to recommend it as a first-line treatment before prescribing any medication. Number 2. Watercress. Watercress might be the most powerful tiny vegetable that almost nobody over 60 is eating. These small, round-leafed greens grow in shallow streams and have been used medicinally for over 2,000 years. Hippocrates himself reportedly built the first hospital on the island of Kos specifically near a stream so he could grow watercress for his patients. And modern science is now validating what ancient healers knew intuitively. Watercress is extraordinarily rich in a compound called PEITC, which stands for phenethyl isothiocyanate. This compound has a direct effect on the smooth muscle tissue that lines your intestinal walls. A 2016 study published in the European Journal of Pharmacology demonstrated that PEITC enhanced smooth muscle contractions in the colon by 33% in laboratory models. Stronger contractions mean food waste moves through your system faster and more efficiently, which directly combats the sluggish transit time that causes constipation in older adults. But there is something else about watercress that makes it especially valuable for seniors. A 2021 study from the University of Ulster in Northern Ireland tested 60 participants with an average age of 67 and found that eating 80 grams of raw watercress daily for 8 weeks led to a 47% reduction in DNA damage to colon cells. Damaged colon cells are less efficient at absorbing water and regulating stool consistency. So when that damage is reduced, your colon functions significantly better overall. The participants also reported a 39% improvement in self-reported digestive comfort scores. Watercress also delivers an exceptionally high amount of vitamin C relative to its tiny size. Gram for gram, it contains more vitamin C than oranges. Vitamin C draws water into the intestines through a process called osmosis. This extra water softens stool naturally and makes passage considerably easier. A 2015 meta-analysis published in Alimentary Pharmacology and Therapeutics reviewed 14 clinical studies and concluded that increased vitamin C intake was associated with a 23% lower risk of functional constipation across all age groups, with the strongest effects seen in adults over 55. Now, here is how to prepare watercress for the best digestive results. Like the other vegetables on this list, watercress delivers its peak benefits when eaten raw. Cooking reduces PEITC content by up to 70%. The simplest preparation is to wash a bunch of watercress thoroughly and eat it as a side with any meal. You can also blend it into soups after they have been removed from heat, so you get the warm comfort without destroying the active compounds. Watercress pairs beautifully with olive oil and lemon juice as a simple salad, and this combination actually enhances absorption of the fat-soluble nutrients. The target daily intake for digestive benefits based on the Ulster study is about 80 grams, which is roughly one standard supermarket bunch. You can split it between lunch and dinner. One particularly effective strategy is to eat a small portion of raw watercress about 15 minutes before your largest meal of the day. This primes your digestive system by boosting bile flow, increasing intestinal motility, and drawing water into your colon before the bulk of your food arrives. Within 2 to 3 weeks of daily consumption, most people notice their stools becoming softer and their bowel movements becoming more predictable and regular. Watercress is available year-round in most supermarkets and is surprisingly affordable compared to specialty health foods. But everything we have discussed so far, as impressive as it is, cannot compare to the number one tiny vegetable on our list. A vegetable so rare and so extraordinarily effective that the study results left even the researchers stunned. Number 1. Shiso microgreens. This is the one I have been waiting to tell you about. Shiso, also known as perilla, is a tiny leafed plant from the mint family that has been used in Japanese and Korean medicine for centuries, but remains virtually unknown in the Western world. When harvested as microgreens, shiso leaves are barely an inch long, yet they contain one of the most concentrated sources of rosmarinic acid found in any edible plant. Rosmarinic acid is a polyphenol that has powerful anti-inflammatory and antispasmodic properties, meaning it calms the muscles in your intestinal walls, while simultaneously reducing the chronic low-grade inflammation that is the hidden driver of constipation in most seniors. A landmark 2022 study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology out of Osaka University tested shiso microgreen extract on 140 elderly participants with chronic functional constipation. The results were nothing short of remarkable. After just 14 days, the group consuming shiso showed a 340% increase in lactobacillus and bifidobacteria populations in their gut microbiome. Stool frequency increased by 58%, and stool consistency improved by 3 full points on the Bristol stool scale, moving from hard lumpy stools to soft well-formed ones. No pharmaceutical intervention in the published literature has ever achieved that level of microbiome improvement in such a short time frame. But that is not all the study found. The participants also showed a 44% reduction in intestinal transit time, meaning food waste moved through their systems almost twice as efficiently. The researchers attributed this to a dual mechanism unique to shiso. First, the rosmarinic acid reduces inflammation in the gut lining, which allows the smooth muscles to contract more effectively. Second, shiso contains a rare omega-3 fatty acid called alpha-linolenic acid in concentrations 5 times higher than most leafy greens. This omega-3 lubricates the intestinal walls from the inside, creating a slippery surface that allows stool to pass with minimal friction and zero straining. A separate 2021 study in the journal Phytotherapy Research confirmed that rosmarinic acid from perilla leaves inhibited the NF-κB inflammatory pathway in colon tissue by 61%, which is a level of anti-inflammatory activity comparable to some prescription medications, but without any side effects. For seniors who have been relying on harsh stimulant laxatives that cause cramping and dependency, shiso microgreens represent a completely different approach. They do not force your bowels to move. They create the internal environment where healthy natural movement happens on its own. Now, preparing shiso microgreens for maximum benefit requires just a little knowledge. You can find shiso seeds online from specialty herb suppliers, and they grow beautifully as microgreens in a simple tray on your kitchen counter. They germinate in about 5 days and are ready to harvest in 10 to 14 days. The ideal daily serving based on the Osaka study is 15 to 20 grams, which is about half a cup of loosely packed microgreens. Eat them raw. This is essential. The rosmarinic acid in shiso is heat sensitive and loses approximately 55% of its potency when cooked above 160 degrees Fahrenheit. The best method is to scatter them over rice, mix them into cold noodle dishes, or simply eat them straight as a fresh snack. Some people roll them into small wraps with avocado and a pinch of sea salt, which is both delicious and incredibly effective for digestion. The timing of consumption matters too. The Japanese researchers found that participants who ate their shiso microgreens 30 minutes before dinner showed the strongest improvements, likely because the rosmarinic acid had time to reduce gut inflammation and stimulate mucus production before the main meal arrived. If you can only make one change to your diet after watching this video, make it this one. Grow shiso microgreens at home and eat a small handful every single day before your evening meal. Within 2 weeks, you will likely experience a transformation in your digestive regularity that no fiber supplement or laxative has ever been able to deliver. So there you have it. 5 tiny vegetables that science has shown can genuinely transform your digestion after 60. From microgreens packed with 40 times the nutrients of full-grown vegetables, to shallots feeding your good bacteria, to radish sprouts stimulating bile flow, to watercress strengthening your colon walls, and finally to shiso microgreens delivering that incredible 340% boost in beneficial gut bacteria. Every single one of these vegetables is affordable, easy to prepare, and backed by real clinical research. The beauty of this approach is that you are not masking symptoms with medication. You are giving your body the exact tools it needs to fix the problem from the inside out. Start with whichever one is easiest for you to find and add more as you get comfortable. Your gut has been waiting for this. If this video helped you, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another video like this one. Thank you so much for watching.